stacked, we say that we have a stack of book. So this means that the books are arranged in a proper manner. So here in this context, we can say that the election candidate, the candidates, the nomination made by the NDA, that is, his name is Jagdeep Dhankhar. He has clear majority, or he has a clear number to win the election to the office of the vice president. So I will show you one image to instill this word in your mind. So please wait a moment. So can you see this picture?
Yes, it's visible to us. Food items have been stacked on table.
Sorry, could you please repeat it?
Yeah, plates and food items are stacked on the table.
Exactly. So this means that everything is arranged in a properly manner and it is distinguishable. Easily, this is clearly defined. So this is the meaning. When it comes to the election of the vice president, we can see that the numbers are clearly known because it is evident that the NDA alliance, NDA means National Democratic Alliance, which is actually the BJP and its allies. So they have clear-cut numbers for their candidate to win the election. So now I will read the paragraph one more time. Just tell me whether you understood the clear paragraph, like clearly understanding the meaning of clearly stacked. The numbers are clearly stacked in favor of Jagdeep Dhankhar, the National Democratic Alliance candidate for the office of the Vice President. The opposition, 17 parties, attended a joint meeting on Sunday, has announced Congress leader Margaret Alva as its candidate. So is this paragraph clear, guys?
Yes, sir, crystal clear.
All right. So next para, Mr. Dhankhar, who joined the BJP in 2003 after initial stints in Janata Dal and Congress, has remained a loyal soldier of the party and its current leadership. Even the office that he currently holds, the Governor of West Bengal, has not come in the way of his party loyalty. So can anyone tell me the meaning of stint based on this paragraph?
In initial period of time, like at certain period of time, for certain period of time.
Right. So I do appreciate your effort. Here it means that he has previously, when he joined the politics, he was a member of Janata Dal and Congress. But right now, since 2003, he is in BJP. And he has remained a loyal soldier or a loyal member of BJP and its current leadership. And even the office that he currently holds. Can anyone tell me which office he currently holds now? Can anyone tell me which office he currently holds now? Guys, I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I will say, so when we read the second line, we can see that even the office that he currently holds, comma, after that, they have mentioned the office. So the current office he holds is the Governor of West Bengal. So as right now, he is the Governor of West Bengal. So the author is trying to say that even the office that he currently holds, that is being the Governor of West Bengal, has not come in the way of his party loyalty. So here the author is trying to say that even though he became the Governor of Bengal, it has not obstructed or hindered his party loyalty. He is still loyal to the party, because we say that when a person becomes a governor, he should be non-partisan. Non-partisan in the sense he should not have allegiance to a particular party. He should be neutral. But the author is trying to say that even if he became the West Bengal governor, there was no hindrance. That means nothing has come in his way of his party loyalty. So here, come in the way means not obstructed. Suppose when you're walking on a road, a car is coming in your way. So you see it as a hindrance, right? So the same meaning applies here. Like even the office that he currently holds, that is the West Bengal governor office, that has not come in the way of his party loyalty. Guys, is it clear?
It's clear.
Clear.
Okay, I would like to give one more point. We have a word called governor. I would say that Indian Constitution, Article 153, mentions that there shall be a governor for each state. So the Article 153 of the Constitution mandates that every state should have a governor. So this is just a GK which I wanted to add so that it would be more comprehensive. All right. So shall I proceed to the next para?
Yes, please.
Okay. So next is, he has had continuous public confrontations with the elected government led by TMC, that is Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee. On many occasions, it appeared that Mr. Dhankhar was playing a partisan role in state politics in tandem with the BJP. So in this para, the author is trying to say that he has had. So here we came across a new usage, that is has had. Can anyone tell me what is the underlying what is the reason why we have mentioned like has had? It's fine, I will explain. See here we have used has had. Has had is used when the present situation, when something which happened is connected to the present, like the public confrontation, that is the tussle between the governor and the elected government of West Bengal, is still going on. It has happened in the past and it is still going on in the present. So this is the case we use has had. Are you getting it, guys?
Get it. Thank you.
Yeah. So when something has happened in the past and which is connected to the present or still going on, we use has had. And we use like has had or have had. So has will be used when the subject is he, she, or it. When I say that, here in the statement we have he has had continuous public confrontation. So the author is trying to say that the governor had, and still the tussle is ongoing between the elected government of West Bengal and the governor. And when we have the subject like I, you, we, or they, we use have had. Like suppose if I say that I have had continuous issues with my friend. So the subject is I. If I say that you have had continuous issues with you have had public confrontation or confrontation with your friend. This means that you had issues in the past as well as you have presently an issue going on. I hope this is clear, right?
Yeah, very much
Oh,
clear now. It's like
okay,
past continuous thing.
exactly. So he has had continuous public confrontation. So confrontation, I hope the meaning is clear for everyone, right? Okay, I would like to share a picture which shows confrontation. Please wait a moment. Yeah. Is this picture clear?
It's clear. An
So this
argumentative behavior or a fight, something like that.
exactly. So this is the basic meaning of confrontation. Like two people are against each other. So here, who all are the people? fighting against each other or having an argument against each other. It is the governor of Bengal and the elected government led by Mamata Banerjee. So they had issues in the past, and the issues are still ongoing. It is still relevant here. Now let's move to the paragraph. So he has had public confrontations with the elected government led by TMC's Mamata Banerjee. On many occasions, it appeared that Mr. Dhankhar was playing a partisan role in state politics, in tandem with the BJP. So the author is trying to say that it appeared that Mr. Dhankhar, that is the governor of Bengal, was playing a partisan role. Partisan means, here you can see the meaning. The word you can actually derive it from the word itself, partisan, like a strong supporter in favor of a party, or a cause or a blind allegiance to someone. So if you are partisan, this means that you are inclined towards someone. So here in this case, the governor is actually inclined towards the BJP because he is a BJP member. Exactly. And in tandem with BJP, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of in tandem here? Can you derive it from the sentence only? Anyone?
Be along with.
In tandem means alongside.
Yeah, you're right. So basically, here, what the author is trying to say is that the governor is actually playing a part, is that governor is actually inclined towards the BJP or the NDA side, and he's trying to play a politics in tandem with the BJP's policies. So I will show you a picture to depict what exactly in tandem means. Can you see this picture? Are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this means that you can see that two people are cycling. So the first person is also riding the bicycle. The second person is also riding the bicycle along with the first person. So this is what we say in tandem, like alongside, you're doing the other kids. So is it clear? Guys, it's clear, right?
It's clear.
All right. So next paragraph. So I will read that paragraph one more time for a better understanding with your meaning. So he has had continuous public confrontations with the elected government led by TMC's Mamata Banerjee. On many occasions, it appeared that Mr. Dhankhar was playing a partisan role in state politics, in tandem with the BJP. So this makes sense now, right?
Absolutely. All of that makes sense now.
All right. So next para. While announcing his candidacy, the BJP has described him as the son of a farmer, a much cliched, still potent labeling that politicians claim. The claim has specific meaning in this context, as Mr. Dhankhar hails from the Jat community, a land-owning dominant caste in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Rajasthan. The community's stiff resistance was among the reasons that forced the centre to withdraw the 3 farm laws in 2021. So here, can anyone tell me what could be the meaning of cliched?
Maybe the false claim.
Yeah, could you please say it one more time?
The false claim.
Okay, I appreciate your effort. Here, in this case, cliche means a statement or a particular word which has been used again and again. Because always politicians or the politicians basically use statements again and again. So cliche means something which lacks originality. It's not new. You have heard the statements previously as well when it comes to the elections. So previously also many parties have said that, we are introducing a new person who belongs to a particular community, who belongs to a farming community, or who belongs to SC/ST to get their votes. So that's why the author is trying to say that while announcing his candidacy, the BJP has described him as the son of a farmer, as a much cliched, still potent labeling that politicians claim. Here, potent labeling means a labeling. The labeling is son of a farmer. BJP is labeling the vice presidential candidate as a son of a farmer. So this labeling has potency. Potency in the sense it will have an impact with respect to the elections or with respect to the party politics. This is what the author is trying to say. I have something related to labeling as well. Please wait a moment. Yeah. So this is this clear, guys? The picture?
That's clear.
Yeah. So the potent means having great influence or having or wielding force or authority. We say that if a person is potential enough to do something, this means that that person has great influence. So the same meaning applies here. So while announcing his candidacy, the BJP has described him as the son of a farmer, a much cliched, that is a statement or a word which has been used again and again, still potent labeling that politicians claim. And the claim has specific meaning in this context. So why is the author saying that this is a potential or a potent labeling? Because Mr. Dhankhar hails from the Jat community. If someone hails from a particular community, this means that that person comes from that particular community. If I say that I hails from Kerala, this means that I come from the state of Kerala. So here, why is it potent labeling? Because he comes from a Jat community, or he hails from a Jat community, a land-owning dominant caste in the parts of UP, Haryana and Rajasthan.
Does
The
it mean
community.
seems like it belongs to?
Yeah, please
It
continue.
belongs to Jat community. Does it similar to belongs to? He belongs
Yeah,
to Jat community like that.
same meaning, same meaning. Hailing means, you belong to or you come from that particular area or community.
Okay, get it.
So the next line would be the community's stiff resistance was among the reasons that forced the center to withdraw the three farm laws in 2021. So here the author is trying to say that BJP is trying to get the votes, or BJP is trying to appease the farming community by labeling Mr. Dhankhar as the son of a farmer, because these farming community was protesting against the farm laws when the government introduced it in 2020. And due to stiff resistance, we have seen the farm protest in our country to withdraw this farm laws. So there was a stiff resistance. Stiff resistance, I hope the meaning is clear to everyone, right? Like we say something stiff means it is very strong. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. So next, a considerable segment of Jats had stayed with the BJP in this year's assembly election in UP, and Mr. Dhankhar's elevation will strengthen the BJP's hold over the community, particularly in his home state of Rajasthan that goes to polls in 2023. So here there is only one word which we have to understand: elevation. So can anyone tell me the meaning of elevation?
Rise up some.
Could you please say it one more time?
Rising up something.
Yeah, right. So here elevation means earlier he was a governor of Bengal. Now he's been nominated for participating for contesting in the vice presidential election. So this elevation from being a governor to the vice president, that is what the author is trying to convey here. So I would like to read it one more time. So a considerable segment of Jats had stayed with the BJP in this year's assembly election in UP. So recently we have seen that the UP election was over, and in UP BJP won with a huge majority, or they won the election. And the author is trying to say that a majority of the Jat section stayed with the BJP in the UP elections. And this measure taken now, this elevation of Dhankhar, the son of a farmer, so labeling him as a son of a farmer, BJP or the government is trying to appease the farming community more and more, so that they will get more votes in the upcoming election of Rajasthan. So the author is trying to say that here the measure of the BJP, it's a political motive behind it to get votes in the upcoming election of Rajasthan, basically from the farming community. Because we have seen that in India, majority of the population sustains on farming. So this is a political tactic which is adopted by the government or the BJP to appease the farming community. This is what the author is trying to say. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. So next para. For the opposition, now we read about half of the para. Now we are talking about the opposition. What this measure means for the opposition. For the opposition, the elections to the post of president and vice president would have been an opportunity to advance its politics. On that count, it seemed to have done a poor job. Mr. Alva's entry onto the screen, because Alva is actually the name of the candidate who is contesting against Mr. Dhankhar. So Miss Alva's entry onto the scene is unlikely to move the needle for opposition politics in any impactful manner. So can anyone tell me what this paragraph is talking about?
Here we are talking about the competitor of Mr. Dhankhar. Miss Selva is opponent.
Correct.
And opposite party.
Yeah. And is the measure, like, is Miss Alva going to make any impact on the political advancement of opposition? What is your take on this?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
All right. So in this regard, can you tell me the meaning of moving the needle?
Do something, doing something, making some progress.
Yes. So you're right. Everyone, we all have seen, we all have might have driven bicycle, or not bike or cars, right? So we have speedometer. In speedometer, we can see that when we accelerate, sorry guys, when we accelerate, the needle moves from 0 to 180. That's how it goes, right? So here I will show a picture which shows moving the needle, which will clearly help you understand how it is. This one. So you can see that when the needle moves from left to right, the performance increases from bad, poor, average, good, and excellent. So here moving the needle means you are increasing your performance or increasing your image or the impact. Is it clear, guys?
It's crystal clear.
So I would like to read the para one more time so that it will give you enough understanding of it. So keep in mind the meaning of moving the needle. For the opposition, elections to the post of president and vice president would have been an opportunity to advance its politics. On that count, on which count? On advancing the politics count, it seemed to have done a poor job. Miss Alva's entry onto the scene is unlikely to move the needle for opposition politics in any impactful manner. I hope it's clear. Next is P, that is Miss Alva, like the opposition candidate for president, Yashwant Sinha, is a forceful speaker, but does not mobilize any political constituency. She comes from Karnataka, a state that goes to the polls next year. but there is little that her candidacy will contribute to the Congress in the state or opposition politics in general at a national level. So can anyone tell me the meaning of this paragraph?
It's about talking about the same thing which happened with Yashwant Sinha. It is talking about the opposition party is coming back now in game with the same situation which happened with the presidential candidate. So it is not going to create impact as that she is also not like there is a little difference between Yashwant and her. It is that she doesn't belong to any constituency. Uh, I think
I
yeah,
appreciate
that's
your report. Anyone else want to add their point? So here, the author is trying to say that the opposition candidate for vice president's election, like the opposition candidate for president. So when you break down this line, you can read it properly. She, and skip the line, you can skip this line. If you skip this line, you can see that she is a forceful speaker, but does not mobilize any political constituency. So the author in the previous paragraph mentioned that the opposition will not be able to mobilize the needle or make any impact with respect to politics with their candidature. Why? Because the candidate who has been nominated by the opposition is a forceful speaker but does not mobilize any political constituency. So here, can anyone tell me what's the meaning of mobilizing any political constituency?
To do something, to organizing something.
Exactly. So the meaning is organizing people. So here I will show you a picture. This one. This picture shows that Ukrainian government or the military rebels mobilizing troops amid Russia invasion fears. So this is like you're organizing people for your benefit. That is mobilization. Like we all know the meaning of mobile. Mobile means moving. So when you mobilize a political constituency, this means that you are mobilizing the people so that you will get more votes from that political constituency. Is it clear, guys?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So the opposition's candidate comes from Karnataka, a state that goes to the polls next year. But there is little that her candidacy will contribute to the Congress in the state or opposition politics in general at a national level. Is it clear?
Sir, it's clear.
Okay. So here we should understand that there is little that her candidacy will contribute. So I have a question. Does this mean that she will bring an impact, or does it mean that there is no impact at all?
there is no impact at all.
It's no impact at all.
Absolutely correct. So here little means no impact. So we have another picture which deals with it. So we can see that a little and little. A little means, or a little means, it means it's a small amount. There is something. And when it comes to little, it is almost nothing. So how I used to remember this is, when there are two parts, A and little, there is something. And when it comes to little, there is no second part, only one part. So this means that it doesn't have anything. So in the paragraph, we saw that it was written nothing. So this means that there is nothing, zero. The same applies to a few and few. When there are two parts, you can remember that a few means there is something, and if it is simply few, this means that there is nothing. And we use few when we want to represent it with plural nouns. That is, a few good friends, a few books, which is countable, because you can count the books, you can count your number of friends, a few days, you can count the number of days. And when you say that you have got few friends, this means that you don't have any friends at all. And in what context can we use little? Little is used with respect to non-countable nouns, like a little milk. This means that there is some milk left. A little water. This means that there is some water. And you cannot count water, right? So this is where we use little, and we use few when we can count something like number of days, number of friends, etc. So is it clear, guys, the difference between a little, a few, and few?
Yes, yes.
It's clear.
All right. So let's move on to our article. So I would like to read it one more time so that it becomes imprinted in your mind. She, like the opposition candidate for the president, Yashwant Sinha, is a forceful speaker, but does not mobilize any political constituency. She comes from Karnataka, a state that goes to the polls next year, but there is little that her candidacy will contribute to the Congress in the state or opposition politics in general at a national level. I hope this para is clear now. Next.
So it's clear.
Yeah. As it stands, Mr. Dhankhar is all set to become the Vice President of the country, who is also the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. Two offices that require occupants to be unfailingly non-partisan. So can anyone tell me the meaning of as it stands? Like, can you derive it from the paragraph itself or the statement itself?
As it is. Something like.
Exactly. Absolutely right. So as it stands means in its present condition. Like now the BJP has a clear stacked numbers. So in its present condition, it is Mr. Dhankhar is all set to become the vice president. So the vice president is also the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. That is known to everyone, right?
Right.
Okay, now I would like to give you a fact regarding vice president. See, Article 63 of our Constitution mentions that there shall be, or mandates that there shall be a vice president. So Article 63 says that there shall be a vice president. And the author is also saying that Mr. Dhankhar is all set to become the vice president of the country, who is also the chairperson. So he's saying that vice president is also the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. So this comes from, or the background for this comes from Article 64. Article 64 says that Vice President shall be the ex officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha. Are you getting it, guys?
Yeah, 63 states that there should be a vice president, and 64 states that the vice president should be the chairperson of Rajya Sabha.
Exactly. So the two also correct. Okay. So as it stands in its present condition, Mr. Dhankhar is all set to become the vice president of the country, who is also the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. The two offices that require occupants to be unfailingly non-partisan. Unfailingly means without any failure, that person should be non-partisan. So we have read the meaning of partisan previously. Partisan means a particular person or anyone who is inclined to a particular party or something. Non-partisan means the opposite of that. Like he should be neutral. So the author is trying to say that the office of the vice president and being the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha requires a non-partisan member. And they are expected. They are means the vice president or the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha are expected to adhere to rules and the constitution on the one hand, and on the other, innovate to ensure smooth relations between the government and the opposition. So can anyone tell me what is expected from the Vice President, who is also the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, according to the author?
He should be neutral and
Neutral
also
and
take
can.
care of the opposition party interest.
Correct. So here we are saying that he should adhere to the rules. Adhere means, can anyone tell me the meaning of adhere?
Follow the rules.
Allow.
Strictly follow the rules.
Right. So adhere to means, you have to accept it, or if you adhere to someone saying something, you accept what they are saying, or you follow what as it is. So here the author is trying to say that the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha or the vice president is expected to adhere to rules and the constitution on one hand, and on the other, innovate to ensure smooth relations between the government and the opposition. Because we have seen that Rajya Sabha is a place where opposition and the ruling party come and debate over bills and various issues. So in this case, being the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, the person should be neutral so that he can maintain the relation between the opposition and the ruling party. So this is what the author is trying to say here. He should innovate. Innovate means come up with new ways to ensure smooth relations, because in the recent past we have seen that there were pandemonium in the house, in the sense, there were so many issues. The opposition used to walk away when there was a discussion on a bill. So here the author is trying to say that the new chairperson should come up with new methods or to innovate or to ensure smooth relations between the government and the opposition.
In a similar way, like he did in Bengal, right, as a governor.
In Bengal, what happened is that he was having issues with the governor. Yeah, the author is trying to say that he should not repeat what happened in Bengal.
It is also a neutral post, right?
He should be neutral because he is going to be the vice president or the chairperson of Rajya Sabha. So is it clear?
Okay.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. The last paragraph. Mr. Dhankar should strive to build better relations between the government and the opposition and to uphold the honor of the upper house. Because, can you tell me the meaning of strive to build better relations? Can anyone say?
Strive, trying very hard to build relations.
Right. So to make things easier, I have a picture. This is a strive. You can see that a person is striving to climb the mountain. This means, you should take effort. So this is the point here. So when we come to the paragraph, we can see that Mr. Dhankar, if he becomes a vice president, he should take his effort or strive to build better relations between the government and opposition and to uphold the honor of the upper house. Upper house means Rajya Sabha and lower house means Lok Sabha. So he will be the chairperson of the upper house, because we already read that Article 64 points that Vice President will be the ex officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha. So the onus is upon the Vice President or the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha to maintain smooth relation between the opposition and the government, and the responsibility is upon the Vice President to uphold the honor of the upper house. Now, there is a transition that he might struggle to effect, given the temperament he has displayed so far as he steps into a new national role. So here the author is trying to say that previously he had issues with the governor. He had issues with the government of Bengal when he was a governor of Bengal. So now what happens is that if being a vice president, if he is going to be partisan or if he is going to be partisan with the BJP policies, it is not good for the democracy. So here the author is trying to say that this transition, like from being a partisan to a non-partisan person, this transition, there is a transition that he might struggle to effect. So to give effect to this transition from being partisan to non-partisan, it will be an effort making. It will take an effort from it. Will you need an effort from that person's side, given the temperament he has displayed so far. Temperament means the character or the nature.
Behavior.
Yeah, right. As he steps into a new national role. So can anyone explain the last paragraph's meaning?
In last paragraph, author is trying to convey that Mr. Dhankar should not be inclined towards BJP. He should be not judgmental and neutral. That's how he can maintain the democratic environment and be an efficient chairperson of Rajya Sabha.
All right, that's perfect. So, what could you please tell me the meaning or apprise me about the meaning of temperament from this context?
You like temperament he had displayed, given the temperament he had displayed.
We often say that I am
People's
short.
behavior, character.
Yeah, same. That's it. Because I can give you an example. Like we often say that people might say that a person is short-tempered, right? So this means that he will argue on things, or he's bad-tempered. So the same thing comes here. When you say that the temperament of a person, this means that the character he has shown till this time. So this is the temperament. So author is trying to say that the temperament which he has shown previously with the government of Bengal, there will be a transition. He should make a transition from that side. So if you want to give effect, or if you want to be a non-partisan person, there should be a transition. The vice president should give effect to, for the smooth functioning of our government or the democracy. So is this article clear, guys?
Sir, is still clear.
Okay, so I just wanted to ensure that whenever you read something, understand the ideology or the situation in which the words are used, so that the words will be ingrained in your brain. If you think about in tandem, the new word, you should have it in my mind. You should have it in your mind that two persons are riding a bicycle simultaneously. So the meaning could be alongside, or something which happens alongside. If you hear the word next time related to strive, you should have it in your mind that a person is climbing a mountain. So this means that striving means, if you're striving hard, means the person is taking immense effort to climb the mountain. So are you able to understand the way we approach things?
Yes, sir, we do understand.
So I hope that this is clear, right?
Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. We enjoyed a lot. We learned a lot.
We loved it.